Okay. I believe we're good. We're good and well. Whew. What's going on, Luke? Good to see you. Good to hear from you. How you doing? I'm here. I'm here in the studio, and I am about to just break down a little song that I'm releasing tonight. I might want to go live on Instagram. I don't know if that'll do anything. Like I'd imagine that anybody that I don't know. Maybe people are busy, but who knows? Like it is the middle of the day, but who knows? Let's just do it. And in order to get people to join, I'll say I'm moving. There we go. I'm live on Instagram now. Oh, okay. Basically, all I'm doing here is I'm packing. I'm moving. So I'm so busy packing at home right now that this seemed like the best time for me to go on a live stream. And so that's what I'm doing. And pretty much I'm just going to be doing what I always do. I'm going to be breaking down a song. And breaking down a song, showing the final product first, and then breaking it down on both YouTube and Instagram. So I'm on YouTube and Instagram right now. I've got the master pulled up here. So for YouTube, will start sharing my screen, and you can see I've got my little master file pulled up here. So for now, I'll play through the whole thing and just listen a little bit is what we're doing here. Seems reasonable.
Holy Ghost, I don't feel you, Ghost, so come on, haunt me. I miss your touch, your conducive love is exhausting. When I lost my faith, did I lose your blood? Are you watching? I get so scared, you don't really care. So come on, haunt me. And I lose my voice, and I yell to the sky. But I don't really know you, and you don't really know me. But I don't lost control, so tell me what I should be, and I'll take it all. But probably won't see me change a thing. I know that's my biggest sin. God, oh God, help me out, I'm losing me. I cry out every night before I sleep. Some nights I swear, no one's there. I lose my voice when I yell to the sky. Oh, I don't really know you, and you don't really know me. I done lost control, so tell me what I should be. And
Okay. So there you go. Thank you. I am releasing. Well, that song. I say I'm releasing like I'm doing any actions. I put the song out, distributed to be released tonight, at midnight. But it always releases at 11 for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it'll be out tonight. That's my point. And pretty much what I do for each one of these releases is I go live on Instagram and on YouTube and break down the song, as well as play it a bunch of times. Yeah, people on Instagram can't really understand what I'm saying because they can't see the screen like the people on YouTube can. But yeah, I'm doing it. So, okay, I'm going to get straight into it. For me, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the whole mix. We were just on the mastering page. And that's where you heard the final version of the song. Right here, I'm just going to break through the mix. And the Mac is struggling a little bit to keep up. I'm going to break through the mix a little bit and just play some individual pieces. So, what I usually start with is a guitar. The whole intro to this song, I mean, it's like there's like 2 switches to this song. I forgot what BPM it actually runs at. But it goes from 1 BPM in 4/4 time, whatever the hell it's called, common time, and then it switches to like 2/3 speed in 3/4. So yeah, and then it goes back to 4/4 at the end. But with the intro, it's in 4/4. There's pretty much just a really, really wide distant guitar. I played that close to the mic, but I just added a ton of room reverb to it. And also, I'm really tired because I've been super simple indeed. I'm extremely tired because I've been packing, and there's so much to deal with, so much to do. But I'm so tired, so my energy's low today. So this is the version of me that people get today. So yeah, we have this. And then like towards the end of that intro, once we get into the falsetto parts with the vocals, we bring in a new electric guitar. It sounds like this. Very simple. Literally just following the chords. It's honestly a little phased out. I probably added some sort of phaser to it or something. I don't know. At some point. And just looking at what those have on them. For my guitars, my acoustic guitars, I kind of always do the exact same thing. I didn't bust these. I don't know why I didn't bust these. Because they both have the exact same thing on them. But, point is I didn't. Of course, I love my Pultec EQ. Oh my god, I love my Pultec EQ. I'll use this till the end of time. I used the preset for acoustic guitar, and it did exactly what I needed it to do. I boosted a little bit more of the highs and attenuated a little bit more of the lows, so that we get some of that muddiness out of the low end. And yeah, I think it sounded great. Just without the EQ. Nope. Then you add the EQ in. It's a huge difference. Huge, especially with the highs. It really helps to bring out, especially when it's glued together with the rest of the song. This kind of needs to stick out to a certain extent. And then from there, I've got some binaural pan going on, just making everything wider. Nothing much going on with that. Then I've got that ton of reverb just going on. It's some ambience reverb, some room reverb. It's actually not a lot here. I think in the original project file, because I produce in FL Studio most of the time or Pro Tools, and then I come and mix it in Studio One, mix and master in Studio One. So I think in the original project file, I added a ton more reverb than I did here because this isn't a lot. But yeah, it's usually Valhalla Vintage Reverb, usually on the ambient setting, and just kind of modify it to taste. And we've got a basic compressor. I think this compressor actually, yeah, okay. It's sidechaining, so this isn't actually doing much of compression besides when the kick hits. Whenever the kick hits, it ducks down a lot, and the kick gets, boosted out of the mix. Which I don't know how necessary that was, because I think this is the only place that this guitar plays, but whatever. So So yeah, that's that for that intro piece of instrumental. There's not a lot going on, but I think it's necessary to really push it towards that next piece of the song. And then, okay, I mean we can get into the vocals a little bit too. Okay, so I've got my intro vocals. Very simple stuff.
Holy Ghost, I don't feel you close. Come on, hold me. I miss your touch, your contusive love is exhausting. When I lost my faith, did I lose your blood? Are you watching? I get so scared, you don't really care. Just come on, hold me. And
And
I lose my voice when I yell to the sky.
that leads into the switch for the song. Again, I feel like I do these breakdowns, but I kind of like explain the exact same thing every time. I like your face is what Derek Frank said in the chat on YouTube. I know my face is beautiful. I know you want me to respond. Well, I'm responding out loud right now, but I'll respond right now in the chat. I don't need your validation. I know my face is beautiful. I don't need your validation. That's my response to him. So yeah. So like I said, I kind of go through the exact same thing every time, but it depends on the song. It can be a little bit different. So for these vocals, I did what I usually do. So first of all, I hit it with autotune, basic autotuning. You cannot see the autotuning. You should be able to. There you go. Now you can see the autotuning. So I hit it with some basic autotune. This song is in E major. This usually the retune speed I have it around 41, a bit lower sometimes. That's about halfway there. So just so it's not overpowering, and so you'd be able to tell if this were at like 6.
Holy Ghost, I don't feel you close. So come on, hold.
Actually, I don't know which one I just changed that for. All right, whatever. You would be able to tell if this were way higher on the retune speed. Okay, there we go. Dear Derek Frank.
What are you doing?
Your mom.
You wish.
So this guy's actually like 5 feet away from me.
It's like 20.
Nah.
I can still smell you though, so it's still too close.
All right, screw you.
Alright, I'm bored with this now. Bye.
I figured you would. Yeah, screw you. Okay. So then in terms of vocals, I've got my autotune. In Studio One, there's such thing as a splitter, which automatically lets you. Oh my gosh, why is everything loading down here? That is a little bit annoying because it's up there. Whatever. In Studio One, it lets you sort of just be able to do this. Hold on. Okay. In Studio One, you have splitter, which kind of lets you basically do parallel compression, parallel processing within one single channel, which is super great, especially when I'm bussing tracks and I need to parallel compress. So I parallel compress, and I did a little bit of parallel processing with just a basic EQ, just because I felt like I needed some attenuation on the low end, but it wasn't like a crazy amount that I was looking for. So I did attenuate some, and then I added my LA two-way compressor, doing some pretty relatively basic stuff on there as well. I always use this preset called Make My Singer Sound Manly, which pretty much just boosts a lot of the gain and reduces quite a bit, actually. Reduces up to 60. And once parallel compressed, it sounds beautiful. It's like I'm singing right in your ear. I'm going off of Instagram right now. But I am moving. That wasn't live. I just wanted people to click on it. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. So I've got the EQ going on. My 47 mic Vogue EQ. This is just a basic Pultec. I freaking love this Pultec EQ. You're not going to take it away from me. I always use this 47 preset. It's for a warm 87, you know. And it sounds great. It sounds wonderful. It's always done wonders on my voice. It kind of works in unison and pretty great simultaneously with that compressor. Makes everything sound a lot clearer. From there, I've got stuff anyone would do, you know, a de-esser. This de-esser is reducing quite a bit, but not an insane amount where it feels like it's just like the bare. I don't even know how to explain it. Like the bare vocal. It's 2:49 in India, dude. You should be in bed. You should not be. I mean, like I thank you for being on my stream right now, but you probably should be in bed, respectfully. But I do thank you for being on here right now. It's actually 4:21 p.m. where I'm at, and I am still somehow really, really tired. From there, I've got my Valhalla reverb. I've got two actually of these. One comes in because with that part where we have that big transition where it goes into. That's where that comes in. You get a lot more reverb going on there. So that one is on a way bigger. It's on concert hall. The mix goes up all the way to 100 here. You can watch it right here. You cannot watch it because it's not up on the screen. Now you can watch it. It goes all the way up.
I don't really know you.
And then we have the switch to 3/4 time. It sounds great. And by the way, if you're still on the stream, you can check out my artist channel in the description. That's where that's at. And yeah, other than that, I mean, my other vocals are pretty similar in terms of what's going on before like an additional step. So like for example, my ooze, those ooze in the background that you will hear at some point in the song, they come in pretty prominently towards the end. We have this. So pretty much that honestly has the same sort of processing going on. I think I might have even copied and pasted from this one to this one. But what I did add was a ton of RC20. This RC20 does wonders. This isn't typically for voice. You know, you see a lot of lo-fi producers. I myself was a lo-fi producer for a long time. So I used to use this all the time on my lo-fi tracks. But here I'm using it on this vocal. I need just a ton of the space knob. The magnetic knob doesn't even do much of anything anyways, but it adds just so much. It adds so much wetness and some sort of wetness that's like distant, and I just really love it. I haven't gotten over it. It's been like a year and a half of me doing that, and I don't think I will get over it anytime soon. Other than that, I've got a lot more wetness going on with the Valhalla Vintage Verb. It's not just a basic ambience. It's on concert hall mode again. Excuse me, and the mix always stays up to about 16%. So it's pretty significant in comparison to the other stuff. In terms of wetness, I mean. Other than that, it stays relatively similar. It's relatively around the same. And yeah, I mean, you have your basic de-esser and stuff going on. Another thing I do for this one, just because ooze, I really want them to be a lot wider and a lot more distant, a lot further back in the mix. Not under. I won't say under because I don't want them to be under. I want them to kind of to be hovering over in, your headspace. but distant also. So it is separated from the rest of the song in a sense. And so I add some binaural pan to widen up that quite a bit. And it might not be noticeable on the speakers because they are already, stereo monitors and everything. But it's a noticeable difference once you have it on headphones, once you do it that way. And I think it sounds pretty freaking great. And that's honestly that for vocals. I went over the guitars earlier very briefly, but there's not much more to... Whoa, I don't know what this is. There's not much more to go over for that, to be honest. Like here we have this other guitar. We have two different guitars, actually.
They know me, but I done lost control, so tell me what I should be, and I'll take it all. You probably won't see me change a thing. And I know this might be the scene.
Actually, that has exactly the same things that the main guitar had. And then the next sort of guitar that's different is a guitar strum. It's like,
You know you, you don't really know me. I done lost control, so tell me what I should be, and I'll take it all. Probably won't see me change a thing. I know this might.
And so for that one, I did add a little bit more Valhalla Vintage Verb. This is also another automated one. So actually, it does have exactly the same thing as all the other guitars. Basic EQing going on, some attenuation on the low end, some boosting on the high end, and even some attenuation on the high end, just to get rid of the moneyness on both sides. Each one of these is compressed, sidechain compressed, so that when the kick comes in, it ducks down and it gives it a little more space. I noticed that was a problem with my drums and the guitars, so I did that. Next other important thing that I have in here is actually this piece that I love so much. It's this like sort of, I guess, solo piece in the song. It's like a little guitar solo type thing. And it's actually a really, really basic part. Let me try and find it. I can't remember exactly what I played, and I can't. Let's find it.
This might be the scene.
Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay, got it. There you go. Yeah. It's pretty simple stuff. It's honestly just following the pentatonic scale here. Very, very basic stuff. Hey, thanks, man, in the chat. I really appreciate that. I do appreciate that a lot. Actually, I'm breaking down a song right now that's from my artist page. If you're willing and able, I would appreciate if you could go down in my description, and I have my YouTube channel and my Spotify of that other artist page there. That's kind of what I've been dedicating a lot of time to recently, which is why, I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't uploaded a beat in about a month. I've just kind of been focusing all my time on this project, and it feels a lot more comfortable for me. So if you're willing and able and you would like, I've got that in the description. And I thank you for listening to my beats regardless, because And that's been a big part of my journey so far. So we can take a look at what I did here for this e-guitar. There's not too much going on. I know that this one came out of the project file, the original FL Studio project file, pretty wet already to begin with. And with the main effects that it came with. But I do have a little bit of compression going on so that it's not like, you know. Let's listen to it without the compressor. How about that? Very spiky in comparison to with the compressor. And then we have, you know, I love my Valhalla Vintage Verb. I'm sort of guy that doesn't like to switch it up too much with the essentials. And Valhalla Vintage Verb does exactly what I wanted to do. Ambient setting with a bit of decay. And thank you. I would appreciate it if you did check those links out. That goes to anybody who might be watching this after I'm done with the stream too. From there, I've got my typical RC20 going on. This one, I use a preset most of the time for e-guitar called Lutch and Crunch Guitar. Literally all it does is add some distortion and add a lot of space, which I really like too. Because without that, it sounds very cool, but it sounds very close. It sounds, you know, it sounds sick, but it sounds really close by, and I didn't want to be close by. And look at that. Spaces out. Opens it up a ton more, and it's just a lot more crisp. I love it. It's beautiful in comparison, I think. So actually, I would love to let's listen to these without just any effects. So yeah, this is how it came out of the project file. And this is how I modified it a little bit. And again, the project file was also me doing the work anyways, so like I knew what I was doing. I knew that I wanted to sound like that, which is why I don't really bother a lot of the time doing wet stems and everything, wet and dry stems, because I know what I want. I'm the person that's making the song and mixing and mastering it, so I can kind of just work across processes between the mixing phase, the production tracking phase, sort of that way. There, I've got some piano literally playing only in this one single part. I can't remember why I added this in. You can't really notice it in the song, to be completely honest. Totally honest with you. Other than that, I've got a pad. And for this pad, all my pads are kind of mixed very basically in the exact same way. I add a compressor. This one has pretty light compression going on. See, this is not too much, and the gain knob isn't up too much. And then I'll add some ambience to it. Again, Valhalla Vintage Verb always does the trick. I just want it to be more roomy and spacey because the way that this pad already was, it was very distant and big. Hello in the chat. How's it going? How you doing? I'm just breaking down a new song right now. A new song on my artist channel. On my artist channel. No freaking way. Actually. Let's do this. A new song on my artist channel. Wait a minute. Let me have some fun here. New song on my artist channel. Okay, I'll be done with that. I love this camera. This camera's great. And let's go back to screen share. But yeah, I am breaking down a new song on my artist channel. All those links are down below if you'd like to check out my artist channel. I know that you're probably on my jxsie Beats channel right now. But oh my gosh, man. No, go prepare for your exams. Or you know what? Actually, no, screw your exams. Check out my music. I like that. I like that plan. Nah, you'll be all right, man. I have faith in you doing well in those exams.
You don't really know me.
And then I got a piano. This piano is very, I guess robotic is the word. It didn't matter to me too much to get it to sound super real, just because it's kind of buried in the mix. I'm pretty sure that I added a ton of side chain compression to this. And yes, this is heavily compressed side chain compression. I've got an EQ going on. I do use this preset quite a bit. It's called the Rose Butterfly, and literally all it does is boost the high end and low end. It does attenuate a bit of the top end, but that's not doing too much regardless. This is really what matters, and it brings it out of the mix a lot, but not quite enough to stand out, which is perfect for me because this piano, like I said, it does sound kind of robotic, but it sounds pretty good in the mix. I didn't need it to sound super real. That is hilarious. My indie rock beats. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's been so long since I tried to make it like a genuine indie rock beat, and I remember trying to do that. So I just graduated high school. I would have been like I think I would have been a freshman in high school still. So I would have been 14 years old, making a lot of the indie rock beats. 14, 15 years old, and man. Like, I had no clue what I was doing, to be honest. Like, they ended up pretty okay, I think. Pretty fine. But I was so lost, and I didn't know how to... I wasn't very good at guitar, and I didn't know how to, like, record electric guitar. I don't even think I had an electric guitar yet. I think I might have only had, like, this cheap Amazon guitar that I had at the time. This was a while ago. This was, way back in my music journey for relative to the length of it so far. And... I'm shocked they turned out as good as they did. Not that they're amazing, but I'm shocked I was able to do what I did do with the things that I did have because I was terrible. The last most important thing on this thing is the drums. The drums, I think, sound great. These are all programmed drums. I'll preface it by saying this. They're all programmed drums, but I've been programming drums for so long, like for the indie rock beats, that at this point, I feel like I've gotten a good handle on making, like, a good flowing drums. Maybe not necessarily realistic drums, but drums that really fit the vibe of the beat, that makes it, like, feel like, even if they're not real drums, it's very fitting to the song, which makes it feel complete regardless. Like you're not gonna be thrown off guard by hearing good instrumentation, and then hearing this like very clearly like robotic sounding drums. It's robotic in the sense that it is very perfect on time, but I would have to be very meticulous and spend hours and hours modifying each point. Also, this is Studio One, so I produce on FL Studio. Actually, that's shifting. I produce both on Pro Tools and FL Studio at this point, and then I stem those tracks and I bring them into Studio One, which is this program, and I mix and master in here. So this is where I'm breaking down my mix for this song. It's not much of a breakdown for the instrumentation, just because I feel like that would take way longer, and specifically today, I definitely don't have the energy for that. This is Studio One, and it's great. It's by Personas. I've had an amazing time using it. I haven't really recorded much of anything on here. I've made a couple beats on here, but for mixing and mastering, I can't say I've ever touched a better software, really ever. Like, it's just great for it. It's amazing. Like I said, not necessarily real sounding, but they do fit the vibe. They do fit the flow, and you won't be thrown off guard by them making terrible and like robotic sounding drums. That is a good idea. I should make I might make some more uke beats soon, but it is a good idea to release all my beats on Spotify. That would be great for copyright for me, because I get copyrighted on my own beats a lot of the time, which is just something I won't get into because it really sucks. Not much you can do about it. YouTube's terrible about it. But yeah, that would be a good idea. I actually might do that very soon. Actually, I think I'm moving in a couple days, and not saying I'm doing it for the money at all by any means, but if I could get the extra cash that is rightfully mine on those songs, it would be a good help. Let's take a look at what I did for this kick, though. This kick came out of the mix already kind of wet, I think. I think one of the biggest things that I did for this one is adding a gate, just because I think without the gate, it was just... Actually, never mind. That's not really doing much of anything. But I did add some compression. Plenty of gain, not as much. Actually, around the same. Plenty of gain, but still not as much as reduction, which I think works great for this kick. It's kind of perfect for the occasion. And then, of course, I have my pole take. I boosted some of the low ends, boosted a lot of the top ends, and attenuated the high end so that we can get some of that more muffled sound that you would get from a kick, so it's not super like bright. I'm not a fan of bright kicks at all, because it's like kicks don't usually, kick drum is like low, so like it's not usually gonna be super bright. But so yeah, I wanted to get some of that more muffled, and I boosted some low end. You would think that you'd want to boost a lot more low end just because it's a kick, but no, it actually, for me, for the way I like my kicks, boosting the high end just works a lot better. While still lifting the low end a little bit, but not as much, nowhere near as much. From there, we got the hi-hat, as well as the open hi-hat. All the hi-hats kind of have the same thing going on. Enough so that I actually bust them. Very simple stuff, just EQing. I'm pretty sure this is attenuating the low end and boosting some of the high end. Nothing else really is going on. Not much of anything is going on. Really, that attenuation is crucial, especially for the hi-hats, because I really like my hi-hats to be shiny and very like sitting on top of the mix, as opposed to glued into the drums and like unnoticeable. So you can really hear the hi-hats in this mix, as well as the open hi-hat. Next biggest thing is the snare. Not next biggest thing, but like like next big thing, whatever. And on this snare, again, some basic EQing. I boosted some of that low end, boosted some of that high end, and attenuated a tiny bit of that so I could have more of a muffled feel with the kick. And I think it sounds great. I mean, especially that boosting the low end helps a ton. I tried out this 1176 compressor, but it really just wasn't doing anything for me. Like, it just sounded terrible in my opinion. So I ended up going with my typical LA2A and literally just boosted that gain knob. That's all I did. It's on a comp mode, but there's no reduction going on. So it's just boosted in the gain, and it sounds pretty good in my opinion. Relative to the other drums, it works perfect. From there, I've got a tambourine playing. This one is a live, I played the tambourine. So yeah, I've got the decay going on. All right, the last thing I'm going to touch on, and then I'll play a little bit of the song one more time, is these toms, just because I'm tired and I want to be I'm not gonna say I want to be done with this, but I kind of do because I am tired. I am genuinely tired. I'm not tired of this, like just tired in general, you know. But these toms, toms are so much fun for me to do because I really like the way toms sound whenever I add them into my mixes, and I just really like messing with them. So for this, I ended up using a preset. Actually, I used this kick preset that boosted a lot of that, boosted the low end and attenuated the low end, and that made it sound nice. That made it sound fine. But then I was like, nah, this needs something more. So I came into the EQ that's already in Studio One, the stock EQ, and found this preset for toms that just completed the whole thing. Because you hear it without it, it sounds insanely different. Like, it doesn't even sound like the same drums. It doesn't sound like the same tom, in my opinion. But then you bring this in. Beautiful. Absolutely full. Beautiful. The low end is just amazing. I've got some compression going on. That reduction is right under 50%. 50, whatever the hell it is. dB. And the gain is right under that as well. And then we finish that off with some ambience. Always Valhalla Vintage Verb. I love my Valhalla Vintage Verb. I would say take a look at these settings, because these settings, I think they work pretty good, especially for drums. This is a small ambience mode, and the mix is pretty low on it too. It's not like significantly high. It's 21%. And I think you end up with some pretty nice, rich, juicy drums once you get done and all the way through that. You can just play the whole thing.
I swear, no one's there. I've used my voice when I yell to the sky. Oh, I don't really know you, you don't really know me. I know I lost control, so tell me what I should be. I'll take it hard. Probably won't see me change a thing. I know that's my greatest sin.
And that's it. There you go. Yippee-ki-yay, today's gonna be a great... Okay. Oh, wait. No, that's my time to use the tagline. Yippee-ki-yay, today's gonna be a great big day. That's it. That's all I have. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go. This might be one of my shorter streams, just because, genuinely, I'm pretty tired. But thanks anyone who stopped in. Thanks anyone who watched this video after the fact. And yeah, if you're looking for a new song to listen to, this song releases tonight at midnight on my artist page. It's called Josue Barahona. Link is in the description if you want to check it out. Otherwise, it's spelled Josue space BARAHONA. There's that. That's that.